Welcome to Talking Comics, where we are bagged, boarded, and pre-recorded. I'm Ryan.
I'm Sean. Creepy.
I am the Dark Knight. We are the Dork Knights. I'm Beard Man, and he's Robin Legs. And yes, people, the Robin Legs still haven't kicked in yet.
Nope.
Thank you for coming back. We have a lot to talk about. This podcast is definitely going to run long. We're thinking we're just going to roll with it, let it run its course so we can move on to other topics after this. So we want to get some, shout outs out of the way. April 14th is
Thursday, yeah.
This Thursday, April 14th.
Hawthorne Theater, Age of Absence.
Yes, opening for OTEP.
OTEP. Another Batman fan.
Yeah, he's a Bat fan.
Yes, I remember many a trips when we were youngins to the comic store.
So I think, all right, we got that out of the way. And June 25th.
Yes.
June 25th, we have the big Summer Bash thing coming up, and anyone who's listening, if you're in the Scappoose area, the Columbia County area, come on down to it. Go down to the shop, ask them about it, and they'll give you the details. So yeah. All right, what comic are we talking about first?
Killing Joke.
The Killing Joke. I unfortunately have not read that one yet.
Really?
It's high up on my list of reads, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Oh. And every time I'm like, yeah, I think I'll pick this up next paycheck, someone else buys it. Story of my life.
It happens. More to you than most people.
Yeah. I will walk out of the store after being like, all right, I'm going to come back like tomorrow and get this. And someone will walk in right after I leave and pick it up. It has happened at least 2 or 3 times.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a book that I can't seem to keep on the shelves.
Yeah, you've said many a times that like it keeps finding its way into your life too.
And right, yeah. I picked it up the first time, March '88. Alan Moore, Brian Bolland. Great book. It is. I think Alan Moore pretty much wrote a underhanded finale. Mm-hmm. Go back and look at this.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've heard.
It's got an ambiguous ending, because I just listened to this interview with Grant Morrison,
mm-hmm.
and for as many years that like I said, it's come in, it's gone out of my life, and I've read it over and over and over again, he brought up something I didn't even think about.
Yeah.
Batman kills the Joker,
mm-hmm.
but does he?
Yeah, that's the question, really, because they left it so open-ended, so the fans kind of...
Yeah.
Make their mental decision on whether or not he kills the Joker or just puts him to sleep.
They don't show the crack. It's almost like you're led to believe, because there's laughing in the panels, and then just stops abruptly.
Yeah. But
you don't see anything. There's not and they don't do the cracking sound or anything, or I'd never thought of it. Like, did he? Because Batman doesn't kill.
Yeah. This book wasn't even in, when it was written, it wasn't even main continuity. It wasn't canon.
It's easy for you to say.
It wasn't canon to the Batman universe, more or less. But it was so popular that it was brought into the main storyline.
Oh yeah.
A little synopsis for you guys is I'll tell you the parts I do know about, because the internet's a very spoiler place.
Spoilery.
Yeah, you know, because you're here. I know that the Joker breaks into Barbara Gordon's house.
Yeah.
And shoots her, like shoots her and tortures her and takes pictures of her in while she's all messed up.
Paralyzed her.
And yeah, she was paralyzed.
This birthing the Oracle.
Yep. And I know that later on, doesn't the Joker take the pictures that he took and uses them to psychologically torture the Commissioner Gordon.
He's got him tied up in the chair. They're watching.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Whoa, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I knew that he like showed him like paint. What I heard was that he like pretty much plastered a room.
Oh yeah.
With the pictures of her mangled
Batman for when Batman gets there.
Oh yeah.
And they do an interesting thing that Alan Moore did in this also is this is the first time a backstory you get to see before they don't let on to his name or his identity or anything, but you got to see a wife.
Mm-hmm.
Got to see a really crappy life.
Which led to the origins of
the
original Red Hood.
But he did it so brilliantly where he didn't give anything away.
And the Joker, it was in that comic that the Joker says, if I have a past, I'd prefer the answer to be multiple choice.
Yes. If I have to pick a past, I prefer it to be multiple choice.
It's sort of chilling, isn't it?
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's Alan Moore. I love that guy.
He knows how to write a freaking story.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Alan Moore. He's the creator of one of my favorite DC characters, Constantine.
It springed off, there could be a whole nother podcast right there. His writing for Swamp Thing spawned Animal Man and Constantine, Hellblazer, Deadman.
Yeah.
Batman was in there, the Greening of Gotham. Mm-hmm. You know, if you ever read those stories. But yeah, we could talk about those.
That's a whole other podcast.
Oh yeah, that's great, man. So Joker backstory. Speaking of,
oh yes. So recently in the Justice League, I believe it was in Justice League 46 of the New 52, of course. Batman sits upon the Mobius chair, and he basically becomes a god of knowledge when he's sitting in it. And he is now able to ask the chair any question and get any answer and get, the answer for it. So he's sitting in the chair, and the first thing he asks it is, who kills my parents? And the chair replies, Joe Chill. Well, Batman already kind of more or less figured that out at this point. And then he asks, what is the Joker's real identity? And then it's like, the panel shows his reaction, and it's just him like, what? And that's when that specific comic ends.
That was the ending, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But coming up here soon is Justice League 50, which is supposedly the big reveal of the Joker's true identity. And I am torn on this subject.
Yeah, I am, of two minds. It's like, yes, I want it, but then, no, it's part of him being the Joker. It's not knowing.
It's what makes him terrifying. Like, for me, it's like, I don't want to know, but I need to know.
Right, yeah. There's no rhyme or reason. He has no agenda, no backstory, no anything.
Yeah. He's just...
The Joker.
The Joker.
Yeah.
He lives for chaos. That's about all we really know about him. And he's got a vendetta against Batman, but not a vendetta, more like admiration. I don't know. You can't really tell because he's...
It's almost a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
Without...
Well, they touch on that in one of the movies, don't they? The... Batman? The one with the Joker in it? You
gotta be more specific. Talking about Nolan's Dark Knight?
Nicholson.
Oh, Nicholson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You made me, I made you.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of... Well, yeah. That... No. Unless your name's Joe Chill. Joker Chill. But, I was thinking of the books where it's like... Where they address the fact that, with all these criminals and everything that Batman's fighting to protect Gotham from... Would these criminals even be here in Gotham if it wasn't for Batman?
That's a good point. I mean, would they be flocking to Gotham to get rid of Batman? Which I never really understood. Why don't they just move to a different city?
Right? Yeah.
Man, this Batman guy sucks. I'm going to move to,
Metropolis. There's a flying guy in underwear.
Oh, man. That's something we could do. That's something I'm going to research for another podcast. Which city in the DC United States is the safest for a criminal to live in?
Yep. I don't have to register.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I even watched, that actually makes me think of another YouTube guy I watched this one time. He did this video on, it was like titled, Why Do People Still Live in Gotham?
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically him going over like, you know, if Gotham's so dangerous, buildings are constantly being blown up and, super villains are taking over the city. Why don't you just move to a new city?
Right. That's what I'm saying. I see. So we're not the only ones to sit around and talk about this made up bullshit.
And I recommend checking it out. He's not really like I wouldn't say he's not a sponsor or anything, but the channel's called NerdSync. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, I love this dude's material. He does way more research than we do.
Remember when you asked me? It's like, what would you live in any universe?
Yeah.
What I told you? Riverdale.
Riverdale?
The only dilemma, Betty or Veronica. Chill with Archie. Actually, he's cooler than I am. Yeah, he would probably live.
You know, if I had to live in any of those cities, I probably want to live in Central City.
Really?
Yeah. Out of all of the places, either Central City or Star City. Not like...
Just full of wormholes with Gorilla Grodd and metahumans coming at you left and right.
Not necessarily like in the, cinematic, the TV show universes, but like from what I've read of the comics, some stuff goes down there, but not nearly as bad as Metropolis and Gotham.
Well, cinematic or otherwise,
in comparison,
it's raining skyscrapers in Metropolis.
Which is worse, raining skyscrapers or raining hyper intelligent gorillas?
Yeah.
That's
6 on one, half a dozen on the other. Speaking of villains and a nice place to live, not Gotham, but yes, Gotham. What was your take on Long Halloween?
Oh, Long Halloween. That is a good book. I said it in the last podcast. LOEB is a genius at detective Batman comics.
Yeah.
I read that. I power read that book.
Right? Sucks you in right at the beginning.
I couldn't put it down. And overall, it shows an origin for Two-Face, which I totally dug.
And Gilded Dent. The wife.
Gilded Dent?
Well, not so much the origin, but yeah.
Yeah.
His wife, Harvey and Gilded Dent.
Oh, I want to tell him so
well,
bad.
No, let's see if we can do this without a 96 Long Halloween. Jeff Loeb wrote this great story. Artwork Tim Sale. The warring of the gangs, the families, the Maronis and the Falcones,
the mobsters.
Yeah. Just back and forth, and the way he works in, it's basically there's this serial killer, for lack of better terms.
Yeah.
Goes around just killing on calendar dates.
Yeah, he's the Holiday Killer.
Yeah.
That was his name, Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
And he was killing all these different family members. Like started out on Halloween, wasn't it? Like
yeah.
The first one was
Halloween. Yeah, it goes like the whole...
And, Thanksgiving, Christmas...
Oh, that was great. The way they worked in every supervillain on top of it.
Oh,
they go there. Even Sullivan Grundy.
Yeah.
And what I liked, this is a very underrated character, which I really like, Calendar Man.
Oh, yeah.
Calendar Man played a big, prominent part in this story.
I haven't read, I really liked it because I haven't read a lot of stuff that has had Calendar Man.
It's like they saw Silence of the Lambs and love that Hannibal Lecter with Jodie Foster back and forth thing. They're like, we're just going to run with that. And it's just great the way he messes with Batman all the time. It's cool.
Yeah, he, and throughout it, it's like kind of the start of Batman and Harvey Dent's friendship. It starts out, they're kind of like, I don't know how, Dent, I don't know how I feel about this Batman. And
they took a lot of stuff, remember? Out of, in Dark Knight, Chris Nolan took a lot of those rooftop conversations.
Mm-hmm.
That was right out of Long Halloween. let's clean up this city. Let's,
Yeah, let's do it together,
let's
Dan.
do it your way. But, he's like a little bit more hardcore and militant about it than Batman is,
Yeah, and like there's this there's a couple of pages, and it's them like they're actually like working together.
Yeah, yeah.
They're taking down a mobster, like I want to say shipping ring, like a cargo bay type of thing with a bunch of.
Oh yeah.
And they set it on fire.
They smuggle. If you're going to smuggle in Gotham, go to the docks.
Yeah. And it was really cool.
Catwoman was part of the team too. She even got in there,
Mm-hmm.
in and out. I mean, with her own little agenda, but she was in there and then would fade out and then come back in and.
Yeah, and they also, which I really dug was because at this point in time, and well, I guess it's not really main continuity, but like they're showing Bruce and Selina's relationship throughout it, and like the struggle that Selina has with seeing Bruce because he's so flake. Bruce Wayne is such a flake. And
Well,
then
yeah.
at night after she's like gets fed up with Bruce's bullshit, she goes out, she dresses as Catwoman, and then spends night out on the town with Batman.
Well, the Long Halloween. It's a part of it. Like Frank Miller did, of course, the great Dark Knight Returns, but he also did a book called Year One. Yeah, Batman. All right, and that they don't bury the lead in the title. It's Batman's first year.
Yeah,
and Tim Sale and Jeff Loeb kind of dovetailed off that into Long Halloween. So we're like, he's got a few years in his belt now, but yeah, it's right off Year One, and it tells a great story, like I said, and it even led to a sequel in '99.
Yeah,
Dark Victory,
which
you like. What do you think of that?
Oh, I like that one a lot.
The retelling of Robin's origins,
and
his adapting and adoption for Bruce Wayne, Batman.
Yeah, it was really good. The way that they kind of like they really continued the story without much without leaving too much out in between.
Yeah,
it just goes straight from the ending of Long Halloween of Dent becoming Two-Face, and then
that surprise ending, which we're not going to spoil.
Seriously, go out, buy it. It's worth the read.
And even because it seems like there was a little bit of a time gap.
Yeah, but not much.
Because it's the what is it? The territory wars now that who is it? Sophia Falcone.
Yeah, in
the daughter.
The Long Halloween, Falcone dies.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
no.
Spoilers. You're already this far in. You expect spoilers.
The mob boss.
Yeah, the big mob boss, and so his daughter is taking over the family. The dark side of the family.
The territory wars picking up. Yeah.
While simultaneously, her brother is coming in and trying to make the family business legit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So you see a lot of strife happening in between the family. It was.
Now, where was he again? He was
in Italy.
Yes.
They never really.
You're right.
Why?
Yeah, they do actually.
They do.
There's one. Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. And then on top of this, in Dark Victory, on top of these turf wars that are going on, trying to pick apart now that Falcone has passed. The Maroni family, Sophia Falcone is now leading the family, and like Ryan said, the brother's coming in and trying to be all straight and narrow, make it legit. There's this guy, what's he called, the Hangman now? We got a new serial killer going around killing cops.
Yes.
In Gotham? The Hangman?
It was the Hangman, and he'd leave little... I love this stuff so much. I love murder mysteries.
Yeah.
He'd leave these notes that were, the Hangman game that you'd play on a piece of paper and pinned to the body, and it'd have some letters missing, and it's some real detective stuff.
Like how Batman should be.
Yeah. So, and you're throughout Long Halloween, you're trying to figure out who Holiday was. Throughout this one, you're trying to figure out who the Hangman is.
Right.
Oh, and they both have such a at least for me, they were mind-blowing twists.
Yeah. which spawned 2 more books. I don't know if you've read these or not, because that reminds me of the brother. There's a Catwoman one shot it's called When in Rome that they did in 2004, and that's in between. If you read The Long Halloween, she kind of disappears between Valentine's and Thanksgiving. If you're following the calendar, the story, and those events take place in Italy, and then
I remember hearing about that.
And they also did a Robin Year One.
Oh.
Yep, I do.
I'd love to read that.
Yeah, Chuck Dixon and Scott Beatty.
I have to spoil something because it's interesting, kind of crucial thing that is something I found really interesting about Dark Victory. And the reason, Selena, Catwoman says she was going to Italy to try and figure out the Falcone family's business over there, is what she says she was going over there for. But what she was really going over there for, and the real reason throughout these books that she had it out for Falcone, was because she is supposedly his daughter.
Ah.
And
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. These books have more twists and turns than a freaking curvy highway. I almost made a terrible joke there, but I decided against it. So that explains a lot why she was always, had it out for the Falcone family throughout these books.
Yeah, that's I kind of glossed over it, but yeah, you're right. When in Rome,
yeah. And they stayed pretty, and with the Robin origins, they stayed pretty true to his origins, from what I understand, from other stuff I've read, which was really cool. It was Haley Circus was in town. Bruce Wayne brought a date, and
as Bruce Wayne does.
Yeah, he's always got a date. Lucky bastard. And one of the lower-ended crime bosses in the Falcone family is shaking down the circus head, trying to get some money out of him for protection, and they refuse. So while the Flying Graysons are doing their performance, he puts some acid on the ropes that melts away slowly, so that when they're swinging, it seems like a complete accident.
Yes.
And spoiler warning, it was the same kind of acid that was thrown in Harvey Dent's face.
Two-Face.
And so Bruce Wayne adopts this kid and tries to raise him, and the kid eventually figures out this guy's Batman, and starts to train him and whatnot.
Yeah, the PTSD of seeing a little kid and his parents die right in front of him.
Yeah.
Oh, sounds familiar.
Man, if you were the only person who didn't become Robin because his parents died was Tim Drake.
Yeah.
His parents did eventually get murdered, although the New 52 kind of made that never happen, I believe.
Really?
I think so.
I'm not familiar.
It's really hard to follow all the retcons.
Yeah.
And so Batman's training him to, not get revenge, but get justice for his parents' deaths.
Yeah. There's a difference.
And they did it all. It was, how do I put it? It was very tastefully done.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, it could have went, think about if he never was taken in.
Yeah. Now that'd be a really good one shot.
Like a what if?
Yeah.
Marvel does the what ifs?
Yeah.
Well, no, that'd be sweet, right?
Yeah, to see what would happen if Dick Grayson had never become Robin.
Yeah.
And it's the whole Robin persona is kind of funny because they chose the name Robin, I believe, because of something that Dick's parents said to him, said he was like a robin, like a bird, you know.
Yeah.
And that persona gets passed down to different kids, and they become Robin. I'm like, but they aren't Robins.
Well, it's Batman honoring.
Honoring Dick's.
Honoring Dick.
We'll talk about Batman and honoring Dick.
I was just gonna say, you don't need the one shoot. I think that's a good lead-in right there. Here's what happens if something happens with your parents, or you're just have a little bit of a crisis in your life, and you're a little different, and your parents don't approve, and you're not taken in by Bruce Wayne. And you're under Tim Burton's direction. They're called Batman Returns. Yeah. Let's talk about that movie. So do you hate me now for letting you borrow that?
The thing is, I still liked the movie as a whole.
Oh. Yeah, we're going back.
I got one thing to say about this movie. This movie, Batman Returns, it needs more cowbell. It's got Christopher Walken in it, people.
Oh, and he looks like he has no idea why he's there.
I'm an actor. They gave me money to do this gig.
They do this, because we talked about 1989's Batman, Tim Burton's Batman, and that made a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
It was just great, for the time. It's one of those things where it's like, oh my God, you're going to kind of watch it over the course of years.
Yeah.
Might not hold up. Still might. So I still have fond memories of it. This one, though, the sequel was inevitable.
Yeah.
The result was not. Well, then again.
Yeah. Like, the whole movie, like I'm kind of indifferent, I'd say, towards Tim Burton's work.
He's one of those, I'm a goofy artist, and I like... Yeah. I like mutants and outcasts and this and
maybe he should work on X-Men.
No, not those kind of mutants. I'm talking like Hot Topic type stuff. He's more interested in the villains in this movie. Did you not see?
Yeah.
I mean, I watched this and I'm like, oh, Ryan's got to see this. I don't know. I didn't know if you'd ever seen it before. It's just one of those things I just take for granted. Oh my God, it's like we don't see Batman until 20 minutes into the movie.
And it's all focused on the first 20 minutes. It's all about the villains, and not even really, you don't even really see the villains for the first 20 minutes all that much. Like, it's just all it's circus freaks. The first 20 minutes is all literally, we're not even bashing Tim Burton right now. It's literally circus freaks.
Yeah.
Like bank robbing circuses in town.
And did you know? Yeah, the town, all 18 people they just gather in Times Square. Gotham is like just a ghost town. I mean, you see them all the time. Every time they did a speech or they were in front of City Hall, there was like 20 people tops.
I guess our podcast emanated through time, and the people just finally got the hell out of Gotham.
And I mean. Yeah, like I said, you don't see Batman for like 20 minutes into the film, and then
you finally see him. And
what was the purpose of that?
I don't know.
Why did Batman and Penguin? What was the conflict? Because I tell you right now, I counted it. An hour into the movie is when they first actually meet.
Yeah.
And he goes like you saw the thing where he's running for mayor. He's like, you don't think you're really gonna win, do you?
Yeah.
What, Bat Dick? I mean, you were mean to Gordon at the beginning.
Well, I kind of understand it because when I was watching it last night, he was going through all the old news clippings, and he kind of connected the dots of, all right, they're in town. This weird penguin dude just came out of nowhere.
What I'm saying. Yeah, remember? But Alfred, he's sitting there watching the thing, and he's all messed away, or is everything all right? Oh, he's like, oh yeah, I hope he finds his parents.
Mm-hmm. And then there was 180.
For what reason? That's the thing I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
It's like he's cruising the town, which is, I mean, that was kind of cool. You just kind of, you never seen Batman cruising around, patrolling the city. He stops and gives him that one look. But there was no interaction up until an hour into the movie. And all of a sudden they're just mad at each other for what reason? I never got that.
And one special thing about this about the Penguin in this movie, people, is it's played by Danny DeVito.
Oh my God. Let's talk about that for a minute.
He stole that movie.
Oh, it just a gross. All right, you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the laundry list. Now, it's fresh in your mind. You just saw that movie, right?
Yeah.
I just watched it the day before. There are dick jokes in this movie.
A lot of them.
Child killing.
Mm-hmm.
Genocide.
A whole bunch.
Sexual assault.
Yep.
Okay. Are you ready, Ed? You ready for this? There was a Happy Meal attached to this movie. It's like, what?
Ooh, I wonder what toy I got. Oh my God, what is this thing? It's disgusting. That's Danny DeVito. Kids.
Yeah, he's got like his. You hit the little button on the back of the toy and his pants drop. He's like a pee-pee doll or something. Kids are like, I don't know what to do with this thing. Can you imagine whose idea? Who thought that was a good idea? McDonald's like, oh yeah, because they're the first one.
They probably should have been like, hey, Tim, can we just like get a quick look at the script before we sign this contract?
This is my vision. I'm a goofy artist.
Like I
You just put it in the Happy Meal and be happy. A Happy Meal. Yep. This is 1992, man. It's like I like to take everybody back because I mean, today it's just exploding. There was nothing back then,
You had to take what you could get.
Oh my goodness, that was. And they talk about like what was Catwoman? I mean, was she superpowers? Did she have?
I don't know.
Like cats just eating your fingers, and all of a sudden she's just like.
Like I think it was like supposed to be this weird like PTSD like breakdown that changed her personality or something.
Because
that's kind of how they made it seem. Like she didn't die from the fall because of all the. All right, so Christopher Walken, he's like, this is my secretary, and she's going through my files, and I don't want her to look, so I push her out a window.
A window that should not be there that high up. Why is there a window there?
And why is the glass so fragile?
Oh my God. I mean, just there's. It's Batman.
Yeah.
Love Batman. Don't get us wrong, but just go back and watch this movie.
So
it's like
she falls out the window, lands in this alley, and her pet cat, for some reason, was in the neighborhood of where she works.
And he has a gang.
Yeah. And he's like, meow, and laying on her chest. And then this whole freaking... I actually kind of dug the scene because it was just like... I was like, where'd they get all these cats? And how'd they get them to follow orders?
Check it out, though. Let me ask you a question. Imagine if it was not cats that came out. Think of, I don't know, raccoons, armadillos. She's Armadillo Woman. She's got like a bald cap. Picture that for a minute. Oh my God. But she had to have had, number one, okay, and this is definitely a non-Batman move right here. The first time they meet, she kicks the crap out of him.
Yeah.
I mean, every time they meet, she kicks the crap out of him. And she's always leaving one of her claws and stabbing Batman. Yeah. And it's like he was trained for this, League of Shadows, blah, blah, blah. She just barely got, which I'm assuming is superpowers now, because the cat's licking her fingers or biting them. She kicks the crap out of him.
Like, all right. So here's the scene for you. They're fighting. She's hitting him. He's like, all right, I'm fed up with this. Block. Punches her down. And she's like, how could you? I'm a woman. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. Then she kicks him right in the...
That was a trailer. I remember that in the trailer.
I'm so
how
sorry.
How could you? I'm a woman.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
Yeah. No, actually, he didn't do that's one thing I will give those Batman. They kind of dialed it down a little bit, but there wasn't really much of a voice. More of a whisper.
Yeah, Keaton didn't need the voice.
Yeah.
He had like a generally low voice, like that, like flowed with the Batman persona, I suppose.
But and then, like, I'm almost speechless right now. I'm just because it's fresh in my mind too, and I'm going back and thinking of certain parts.
Like, why did they do that? So
why?
Have any of you guys ever seen the movie Beetlejuice?
It's damn near the same movie.
Yeah. You really saw some of that Tim Burton cinematography going on. They literally... So the intro to Beetlejuice, when they're, doing that, like, moving camera throughout the city thing, They literally did that exact same thing.
Yeah, no Batman whatsoever.
No
it's like,
Batman.
It's basically we're watching evil Moses just being sent down the sewer. Oh, speaking of sewer, man, I don't understand why it was. He's the Penguin, but he's riding around on that giant rubber duck.
Yeah, that made absolutely no sense.
That got that got more screen time than Batman did. They got their money's worth with that giant duck.
Yeah. Side note here. How the hell does he afford all those umbrellas and gadgets and stuff if he is a sewer monster?
The same reason that if you look around the Batcave in both Tim Burton and Joel Schumacher's thing, it's like him and an old man, the worst butler ever on the planet. How does he have all that stuff?
Here, Miss Vale, let me direct you to the Batcave.
I mean, to keep your secret identity, it'd just be those two, right? I'm assuming that builds that stuff?
Yeah.
No, I'm too old, Mr. Wayne. You do it without me.
Like,
You know, it's like, and the mirrors. Remember the mirrors? I mean, that looked pretty pristine landscaping at Round Wayne Manor. Like, none of those gardeners noticed the big, giant, reflective mirrors with the bat signal. It's like...
No wonder Alfred's not doing anything. He's out mowing the lawn every day, you know, and climbing up to the top of the, you know, polishing the bat mirrors.
Mr. Wayne, can I get some help, please?
No, Alfred.
No.
I'm busy being perplexed and brooding in my chair.
Oh, and again, I had a big problem with glasses and turtlenecks. Not so much turtlenecks, but what? There's no nearsighted Batman. Why is he wearing glasses? I mean, it's not like like a Clark Kent type thing.
Yeah.
Like he put them on to read numerous times.
Yeah. I have something I'll touch on that when we get to our next movie that we're talking about.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming because...
another thing I have to note about this movie is that... So, Catwoman has always been this, like, sensual, seductress kind of person.
Yeah.
Who she'll give you that hot kiss on the cheek and then kick your ass.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout the movie, like, they were doing it all the way you kind of would expect, but it was just like a few degrees off. She was just like a few degrees short of being hot.
I know what you're saying. The closest thing, you know what was awesome? Closest thing for a Batman, Catwoman type for me, that dance at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And she whips out the gun. And you know what's funny, too? I noticed, I never really dawned on me before. They're at a costume party, and they're the only two that aren't in costume. Yet they're the ones who are kind of in costume, if you think about it.
I think
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that might have been a purposeful choice by...
that was pretty cool. I like that whole dialogue right there and everything. So, yeah, I mean...
Now that you mention it, I mean, me, if I was a writer and a producer for something like that, and I was doing a scene like that, and I chose to, you know, keep the costume vigilantes out of costumes, it would have been I personally would have been shooting for something more like symbolic of, this isn't when we are supposed to be wearing costumes, this is like when we are trying to be ourselves. And while I'm on that topic of them being together, did you notice how, like, throughout the movie, Bruce kind of seemed like when he meets Selena, he suddenly becomes like a 13-year-old boy who doesn't know how to talk to a girl.
And apparently he doesn't know how to scam on girls either. Let me, yes, I'm very interested in you. Let me start by telling you tales of my ex-girlfriend, Vicky Vale, from the last movie. And then I have to get my wingman. Is that what you were going? Is that what you were talking about?
And, you know, that emergency comes up, and she's Catwoman. She's part of the reason there's an emergency. She needs to leave. He needs to leave. He's heading out. Oh, yeah, I gotta go do something. Big business thing. And he's like talking to Alfred. Hey, Alfred, tell her a big business meeting just came through, and you know, tell her I'd really like to see her again, but you know, not in like a I want you to be my girlfriend kind of thing.
Give her this MASH note. Do you like me? Check yes or no. I gotta go. Oh, here's another thing too. I remember we were talking about when first Tim Burton Batman came out. Like, this is the greatest Batman. Forget that 66 Adam West crap. This, you know, I turned on him. I gotta admit, like, this is genius. It's gone full circle. Yeah. It's back to the 66 thing. That thing with where he does the thing in the fish tank and the Iron Maiden opens up. I mean, it might as well have been a bat pole, dude. Come on. And the other things too. How fickle are the cops in Gotham? I mean, they don't even waste any time. They're just like shooting.
Yeah.
And Batman, they're like, well, there's some speculation that he might have been set up, but kill him.
Yeah. Trigger happy.
And
I've never seen such trigger happy cops.
Oh my god.
The cops in Batman in freaking the Dark Knight movies when he first shows up weren't even that trigger happy.
Right. And even and they don't care about pedestrians either, because remember when they turned on Penguin when he did, and, apparently that that was the computer technology at the time, so Alfred's jamming and they're doing a little, he's doing the scratch and and people they brought vegetables and stuff because they were floored like 2 seconds ago.
Yeah. And Penguin even says it. Why do people always bring eggs and tomatoes to these things?
And they're chasing him, and remember the Penguin's running past the people, and the cops are shooting with the people.
Yeah,
and he just dives over the bridge. You're like, what the? And then we get to the Penguin's lair.
Yeah,
let's talk about that. Walken unloads a gun in Selena Kyle.
Yeah,
and she still doesn't die. Unload, and they show the blood gushing and everything. Mm-hmm. I want to remind you once again, there was a Happy Meal attached to this movie.
Look, Mommy, I got dead Catwoman.
Yeah, I got Swiss cheese Catwoman. And the scene where I love the scene too, the little continuity, little production. You always see the black makeup. Mm-hmm. He's wearing the mask and he puts it around the eyes of Batman. Yeah. And that one scene where he rips it off, there's like quick scene where he doesn't have it as he rips it off.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Oh, they could have cut it a little bit better. But
that made me ask the question. If your mask is that easy to rip off, why hasn't it come off already?
It's supposed to be body armor and he takes it off like a fruit roll-up.
Man, Michael Keaton's strong.
Yeah, and like I said, you see it throughout the movie. She's constantly stabbing him, and it's supposed to be body armor. What are these things
made out of?
There's go on and on and on about that.
Yeah,
and that one.
When I was watching the movie, I the clowns and stuff and fighting them made me think of the Batman Returns video game for the Super Nintendo, I think it was, and I played the crap out of that when I was younger. And, well, I never did very well. I never made it past level 1. But I played it a lot.
Let me ask you something. I think I know why. The one person that had a clear-cut, evil agenda. I mean, it's basically the Lex Luthor of every movie. Including movies that Lex Luthor's actually been in. That poodle. That poodle duped Batman, took his Batarang, framed him.
The poodle was the real mastermind behind the whole thing.
And that's the second hero I can think of that has fought a poodle. Can you name the other one?
Who else would have fought a poodle?
Ang Lee's Incredible Hulk.
I was just about
to... best part of that whole movie, the mutant poodle fight. Come on, let it out.
I need a moment to compose myself.
Poodles, that's where they're at. That's the evil.
The game was really cool though, because it was like one of the first games I'd ever played that had like interactive environments, and it was like on the Super Nintendo. If you were next to a store's like window, you could smash the bad guys up against it.
Really?
Yeah. And if like there was a bad guy on one side of you and one on the other, you could just like grab them and conk their heads together.
Yeah, conk their heads together. Unlike the movie where Batman does the most un-Batman things ever.
Batman's a serial killer in this movie.
Batman does not put sticks of dynamite down people's pants and throw them into sewers and
Joker
let them explode. And he's just like kill. Or what about the one thing where he has the hydraulic thing in the Batmobile, and he turns it around, and lights that dude on fire with his exhaust, the jet engine. It's like they come walking out. Remember the first time they're all there? That one scene where it's Penguin, Batman, and Catwoman, and she comes out, which is meow. After she's supposed to be the greatest cat burglar. Yeah, she's loud as hell and doesn't take a thing. Yeah, and the building blows up. I'm not so sure that was Selena Kyle. I'm pretty sure that was Batman throwing the dude into the gas-infested sewer with the dynamite down his pants. And did you notice that they're actually said in that movie, Poontang?
Yes. So I feel like Danny DeVito as... No, not Danny DeVito. Freaking Christopher Walken is the only person alive that can get away with saying the words poontang.
In a Batman movie.
In any movie.
Okay, again, I know I sound like a broken record. There was a Happy Meal attached to this movie.
Hey, kids. Hold on, I lost my Walken accent. I'm Christopher Walken. Hey, kids, you get this Happy Meal. You get a lot of poontang.
Oh my god! I know it sounds like we're just picking on this movie. Yeah, we are. But
I like the movie.
Fun.
I really do.
I mean,
and you know how you get Batman to come save the day, right? Batman.
Yeah, you say his name 3 times. And everybody but Gordon, because he just doesn't say a word to that dude.
Gordon is
like, you're Batman for saving the city. He's just like, fuck off. he doesn't even say that. He just doesn't say anything.
Thanks, Batman. Super cool of you to save all these people.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He didn't even get that. Like nothing. There was nothing. It's like that dick.
I kind of get it, like, because really, like,
that was
this. I did not enjoy this manifestation of Gordon. He was just this fat dude that was riding Batman's. I can't really say coattails because Batman wears a cape.
Cape tails.
Cape tails.
No capes. I mean, yeah, as much as go see it.
Yeah.
You can find it anywhere. I mean, if you got 50, you check your couch for change. And find a thrift store. I'm sure you'll find it there for 15 cents or so.
Yeah.
Have a laugh.
And while you're looking for that one, you should also take a gander at Batman Forever.
Yes, excellent lead-in, sir. 1995.
This is another movie where I'm having trouble like putting the words together to describe this movie.
Tim Burton was not at the helm. He was in producer in name only. He was on there. Joel Schumacher took the reins on this one, and you can tell the difference. Like a lot of fans in Gotham and a lot of neon. I mean, it was bright. Yeah, that explained a lot. I did not know that Schumacher apparently is out.
A very flamboyant fellow.
Fabulous! And it shows in Gotham. It was kind of cool though, because in '95, that's when you're starting your whole CG. Everybody was getting on board with the CG stuff. So it was a lot of wide shots, striking. More than 18 people gathered in town square.
There was like 30 people.
30 at least, and a lot of 8x10 clear shots for the newspaper of Batman, where everybody could just take their time and examine it. Because this Batman...
Hey, I'm Batman. Get a picture with me. Hey, I'm Batman. You want a picture with me?
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, no middle fingers and no gang signs. Everybody say justice. You know who else was on this movie, too? Well, first of all, let's go back here. The reason I mentioned the paper stuff was because Val Kilmer is Batman now.
Yes.
Bruce Wayne Batman. Very moly and very recognizable lips. I mean, you see that first scene?
Yeah.
I mean, that was awesome. I mean, we didn't know what we were in for. When I went to the theater and saw that movie, it's like, there's the gadgets. We're seeing the new Batmobile. I mean, it's putting on there. There's the Bat butt, the Bat crotch. Mm-hmm. Things are making sense now. And then here's Alfred.
And dun, dun, dun. Bat nipples.
Bat nipples, yep. I mean, and they do that pan up to the new Batmobile. He's standing there. There was a spotlight on the lips. And then Alfred comes out of the shadows. He's like, shall I have something ready? Remember, he's like, I'll get drive-through. Check this out. Remember I was talking about Batman Returns?
Yeah.
McDonald's Happy Meal?
Mm-hmm.
They had nothing to do with this next one. Taco Bell jumped on. That was the commercial for Taco Bell and this Batman. I'll get drive-through.
I hope they take Bat credit cards.
Bat credit card. No.
That's a whole different thing.
That's the next one. We're going to save that for next week. Because it just slowly goes down the drain from here, folks. No, I take that because like the intro was not Tim Burton because Batman is
intro,
swinging in.
Yeah, the intro is kind of badass.
Great. Yeah, I mean,
him gearing up.
He's doing the stuff. You see Tommy Lee Jones. He's doing that great performance at first. I mean, the movie sucked when he said luck. As far as because he was doing like this haunting dialogue and everything, and he turned, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh wow, this is it. We're gonna see Two-Face. This is awesome. It's Tommy Lee Jones, and the more I watched it, the more it was just one face because he dialed it up and never brought it back down.
Hello.
Oh my god!
But Two-Face, in my opinion, has always been a very serious character. His whole life persona is the two-sided coin, and throughout the whole movie, he was literally flipping the coin multiple times in the hopes that he would get the okay to kill.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was ridiculous. It's one flip, boom. You live.
Everything to chance.
Yeah.
Everything to chance. Equal. What do they call it? Oh, geez, it's been a while. It's a D&D thing. Like there's equal evil, equal good, equal neutrality, equal. You know what I mean?
Chaotic good.
Yeah, and then
neutral, chaotic evil.
He is basically equal neutrality.
Yeah, he's supposed to be true neutral.
Yeah. But, man, that opening scene was great. I mean, you saw that. I mean, I'm not going to look past the fact that the neon on the guns. Why are there neon on the guns? We don't like that. And he's doing the stuff and he's fighting. And they did that tired-ass Indiana Jones thing where the guy comes, you know. Yeah. But this time, unlike Michael Keaton and Tim Burton, Batman didn't. He saved him.
Yeah.
And then put him on there. And then he did this.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. That was very
fluttery. And he's doing being Batman. Like took the dude's
hearing aid
out there. He's using that and everything. And he's got I love when he was swinging from the helicopter. Yeah. It was very Dark Knight.
Yeah. So they're trapped inside this safe that Two-Face is taking, and he uses the guy's hearing aid to get him out from the inside because apparently they have a knob on the inside of the safe for some reason.
It was because he thought he was making it look like he was robbing the place, but it was really just a trap for Batman.
Yeah. And so he gets out. He gets the security guard onto the thing, and he shoots a grappling hook into the building and attaches the other end to the bottom to the safe, and then trusty utility belt happened to have the acetylene torch with him that day. And cuts it off, and it slides perfectly back into place.
I was waiting for you to say that. Did you notice how it could shoot through the concrete?
Yeah.
Like when it comes back out, it can hold that 18,000 ton thing and slides right back in.
Yeah.
Like the Miley Cyrus wrecking ball scene coming in. Literally the lightest wrecking ball because it just floats in there.
But I was thinking, that's so Batman. Like he's like,
yeah.
If I shoot it here. Calculation, trajectory.
Yeah, that's
because Batman is a genius.
And he's always the king of contingency. That's what I call it. But that's it. That opening scene from here on out. I think,
and it's all downhill from there.
Well, there's little things that I did notice watching this. It's been a long time since I watched it. So, and then like I said, we just watched it
the other day,
and it's fresh in my mind. There's a lot of stuff I noticed. I wouldn't say better, but Schumacher got there first.
Yeah.
First of all, they did the. Wasn't that the first time that Nolan did the. I just had a brain cramp right there. Favreau. I'm jumping topics now. I don't know where I was going with my last thought. Jon Favreau? Iron Man, Jon Favreau. He played Happy, but he directed the Iron Man.
Yeah.
Well, the first two. Dude, he was he worked on this movie.
Oh, really?
Oh, can't you tell? Remember the scene with which was pretty badass, when he's in his office and he goes down the tube and he's in that thing? You see that Alfred was like his Jarvis?
Yeah.
And you see the face with all the things. It's like, I'm going to steal that from my Iron Man movie. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
I never understood, let's see, Chase Meridian.
Chase Marie. Oh yeah, she was. Where'd she come from?
Why didn't they just call her Silver St. Clair? You know, every scene that she's in, Nicole Kidman. You know, at the time, big actors try to get the big. There it is. Schumacher did it first. There's one thing I was thinking of when I had a brain cramp.
Yeah.
Apparently, you have to have a Mrs. Tom Cruise in a Batman movie. Nicole Kidman, and then Batman Begins, Katie Holmes. Think about it.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
All right, let's.
Two-Face was pretty close, though, in a lot of his scenes to the comics.
Yeah.
Before he evolved into the. It basically just played like Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Did the Joker in that one. Plus, there's rumors. I don't know the people, but I've heard stuff. Internet.
Yeah.
Him and Schumacher didn't really get along. So I don't.
So yeah, because he's a freaking great actor.
Oh yeah.
I love pretty much anything because when you get him for a role, I'm expecting. I was very impressed by how silly he was able to act. Because when I see him in a role, I'm expecting Mr. Serious. I'm expecting that guy from the Men in Black. Just stern face the whole time, not messing around.
This predates Men in Black.
Yeah.
This is 95? 4 years away from The Matrix and Men in Black. And think about it.
But even I've watched stuff, tons of movies with that guy in them and he's always played a serious role.
Oh yeah. I think. Don't you think Two-Face is kind of a serious?
Yeah, and he was so silly in the movie. And
now, speaking of silly, let's
talk about the green elephant in the room.
Jim Carrey,
the real star of this movie.
Oh my god, dude. I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
wait, real quick. How's my mole?
I know, right? That's the thing I was talking about. The lips. I mean, he's very identifiable Batman.
So, Mr. Edward Nygma.
Yes.
Works for Wayne Enterprises in the R&D department. And he is working on something that he calls the box. A thing that basically makes it so you mentally are inside the TV more or less.
He's sucking people's brainwaves out.
Yeah, he's manipulating. It starts out so innocent. He just wants to, create this new revolutionary TV technology.
Yeah.
And when Bruce was like, "So you're manipulating brainwaves?" Yeah, essentially. And he's like, "Alrighty, well, let's get something together. Send me all the schematics for this, and talk to my secretary. She'll book a thing." And he's like, "No, I need an answer right now." And the answer's no.
And that's what spawned the Riddler, apparently. He walked away from me from conversation. I'm an evil genius now.
I'll make you understand.
Again, going back to that one, why? What? I don't understand the what are they angry about? What's their motivation? Where's the conflict?
Yeah.
And why is there a window at that? There's another unnecessary window so high up.
The reason... from what I understand, the reason the Riddler is always going after Batman, one, he's always getting in the way of his schemes, and two, is because Batman rivals the Riddler's intelligence.
And he wanted to be, in the books, he wanted to be like Batman.
Yeah.
Which they kind of, in their own campy way, kind of put to the nod to the books.
Mm-hmm.
But see, Riddler will kill, Riddler will punish, and, what he considers a villain.
Yeah.
Or it started out that way. He's basically Jigsaw from the Saw movies.
Yeah.
I mean, that was totally the Riddler.
Now that you say that, I'm seeing a lot of similarities.
Batman saw it. He's like, wait a minute, I'm doing the same thing you. Kind of like that Daredevil, Frank Castle, Punisher back and forth thing. Where's the line type thing. But yeah, Riddler's super smart and everything. This one, again, I don't see the conflict. Okay, he walked away from him in a conversation.
Yeah.
Told him no. So that's the thing?
Yeah, his... I guess, it was because he was so obsessed with, Bruce Wayne because, when he got hired onto the R&D team, the thing, the hiring thing, notice thing said, personally select. You've been personally selected by me, Bruce Wayne, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was like, Bruce Wayne, you're my idol. I want to be you. I want my life to be like yours. And he's thinking that they're of the same mind and the same what's the word?
They're in sync.
Yeah, he thinks they're in sync.
They're on the same page as far
forward,
as
intelligent people who are always thinking about the next big step in technology or whatever.
Yeah. Not the case.
Yeah.
Why do you have a blender on your head? Why do you look like a lesbian gym teacher?
and
you know what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry, people.
That's right up there with again, and you see little echoes, callbacks to Batman Returns. Like number one, I know I'm jumping ahead here, jumping all over the place. Remember the thing I forgot to touch on the Batman Returns is when they're setting up Batman and Danny DeVito's got that, how they put that thing on there to control the Batmobile.
Yeah.
How'd they get the blueprints? Did he call it in? I need this patented. This is mine. And in this one, all the riddles that he left, the clues, which apparently that's the only reason they gave Nicole Kidman something to do, which I don't know if these cheesy ass. Why don't they just follow the beams to the island that apparently it only takes a day and a half to mass produce, like all these boxes?
Yeah.
And build an island?
And what the hell was with the box? Like,
I know, right?
I may not know a whole lot about the Riddler, but this doesn't sound familiar.
No, this is Schumacher. This is and again, it's not him. I'm pretty sure it's the production.
And while I'm on this subject, what the hell is the box's purpose? Because when he first uses it on his boss, he sucks away he acquires his boss's intelligence. Mm-hmm. And then later, when he's doing it, it's basically like them getting high.
Yeah, he's acquiring all the... That's what I was saying. When he did it with the boss, Egg Bailey, he was slumming it in this movie because he's like a Renaissance actor. And again, much like Selena Kyle in the last one, got pushed out of an unnecessary window. Why is there a window there?
And why is it over a waterfall?
Right?
Why is Wayne Industries over a waterfall?
It basically just gave Chase Meridian stuff to do.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman. Because she tried her best. I mean, I know, but that character is just like, ugh. Every time she was on the screen, it's just like... Pff. And apparently she has access to the bat signal.
Apparently.
Shows up there. And, like, remember you saw the thing? And Batman, another un-Batman-like move, he's surprised.
What?
You could have been Santa Claus standing there, doing Dutch rudders with Superman. He wouldn't have been sprayed. He'd have been like, yeah.
I know it!
And then, and then Gordon shows up and he's got his pajamas on like he's been sleeping there. Well, the wife kicked me out of the house.
She said I'm a fat, lazy ass who rides Batman's cape tails.
You have some unresolved issues with your Batman friend, Jim.
I'm just gonna go out and get a therapist psychology degree, so I can just go walk into police stations. I belong here. I'm a psychologist.
Yeah.
Let me up to the roof. I gotta hit the Batman signal. I'm a psychologist.
Yeah, and then she
trust me. I'm a whale biologist.
It's like a beeper. Didn't he say that? That signal's not a beeper.
Yeah.
When she shows up, like that scene where he shows up. Oh, that'd been great. And she's like naked, looking pretty good. You know what I've done? Just drop the sheet. Instead of the landing strip, she got the bat signal. I did this for you!
But the funny thing about that scene is she's like, I'm kind of into Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Then she goes into the bathroom and shades it into a W.
Yeah, it's like Wayne Foundations. I can switch this up real quick. This movie, kind of like what we're talking about right now, this movie was just all over the place. There was no continuity.
And it was the first kind of live action introduction to Robin. So, And I got
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about the Schumacher influence on that costume real quick.
Yeah.
First, you can't move around with that big of a bulge.
I know, right? Let's talk about an elephant in the room. But he did redeem himself when he went out there. He joyrided, stole the car, even though he just met him, and he did his kung fu laundry.
Yeah.
Does that seem like you watch that and say, oh, that guy might be a badass? No, you're just over. I usually just put it in the washer.
Yeah.
You're overexerting too much energy. Then I'm gonna go for a joyride. I found out again, Alfred, the worst butler ever.
Master Richard. Yeah, Al. He called him Al through the whole movie, which I hated. I was like, freaking Dick Grayson was like the second. No, like he was the second most respectful Robin out of the group.
But he was pretty respectful because, like he said, I'm going to take this car now, Al. And he gives him a look like, I'll blow you later. I know I'm going to get in trouble, but
and
because I've been brought here as like a boy toy. There's no Aunt Harriet, but we're on our way. And he joyrides in there, and then apparently he runs into like the neon disco interpretive dance group.
So you know what that joyride thing made me think of is how, like, this particular Robin was kind of a combo between Jason Todd and Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
Because he was, which actually originally, but they both had the exact same origin story.
He even references Bat Boy. He never calls him. And he says Nightwing. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
He should have went with Nightwing, considering Chris O'Donnell's 45 years old. That's anyway.
So he's taken. He literally steals the Batmobile, and Jason Todd.
Yeah.
When they retconned his origin story, they made it so he was stealing the hubcaps.
The hubcaps. Yeah.
Essentially, he was stealing the Batmobile.
Yeah.
And he, Jason Todd, the rebel of the Robins, and Dick Grayson, the acrobat, and Golden Boy kind of. But he was just like a crappy mishmash of the two characters.
Not to mention the fact when Batman finally shows up after he saves that girl. Well, not really saves her because she kisses Dick. That's right. I'm still 12, and runs off like she couldn't part of that gang couldn't go get her again.
Thanks, see ya.
Yeah, Batman comes swooping in and he slap fights his shoulders. Why are you mad at him?
Why didn't you see my parents?
Why? I don't understand. And then all of a sudden, when they get back, it's like, you need me as a partner. I don't even know you.
You were trying to beat me up not 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want you as a partner. I saw how you hit. You ain't got my back. And then little things. It's just it seemed too rushed.
Yeah.
That scene where remember Two-Face got the best of him. It would have been better if it was like a 10-year-old boy. Mm-hmm. I know it sounds gross, but when he reaches down and pulls Batman up, and really buried him. It'd just been better if it was more Robin. Yeah. And not Chris O'Donnell in Schumacher's suit. I don't,
I have nothing against Chris O'Donnell as an actor.
Oh, no. It's just wrong for the role.
Yeah, not right for a young Dick Grayson.
Same thing with, what's her name? I had a big problem with chick who played Lois Lane in Superman Returns. Opposite Brandon Ralph. Yeah. They're not for nothing, and I'm not one to point out anybody's goofy looks, because you don't get no goofier looking than me. But dude, she was always in profile looking up at Superman. Dude, and that chick had like a 12 head. It was just, that forehead was just so, it's like, do something, use your superpowers to give me bangs or something. It says, your ad here. It's like...
I almost spit soda everywhere.
But yeah, I mean, and nothing against her. She was great. I've seen her in a lot of stuff. I've seen Chris O'Donnell. Son of a Woman. He was just coming off that. Mm-hmm. It was huge. But just, no.
It does not scream. Fat earring in the movie. Yeah. That's not a recognizable thing. Well, I guess not. Batman's got a mole, and no one can figure out that that's a mole and recognizable lips, and no one can figure...
Yeah, spotlight on the lips. Don't forget.
Speaking of the lips, they are so recognizable that...
Uh-oh. Hear that?
Oh, they're coming for us.
Gordon's got tired of us talking shit about him. He's coming after us.
His lips were so recognizable that after a couple of kisses, what's her name?
Chase Meridian,
Chase Meridian's like, oh, you're Batman and Bruce Wayne. I recognize from kissing you.
Yeah, just like Mary Jane and Spider-Man. They pulled a lot of stuff from that. I mean, say what we are saying what we will about this movie, but there's a lot of stuff pulled from this movie. Mm-hmm. That's it. Again, Jim Carrey too. Speaking of that, I mean, he put everything into it. Coming off At this time, 95, you got his insane success with The Living Color,
Mm-hmm.
the TV show that made him. Then the Ace Venturas.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he was just top of the world right now. Dude, he put everything in there. I mean, the hair choices, though, I don't know.
Yeah.
Little Annie Lennox, Sweet Dreams of me. But the way, I mean, he was, like, I liked it still. I mean, that still held up to me. Like, the way just little things with the cane.
Yeah.
All that Jet Li
I
stuff.
totally dug, like, well, most of the cane-ness. Like, sometimes it was just a little too over the top. Like he, like, sets it down and then, like, kicks it and then walks away. I'm like,
He was doing the
you're fabulous, mama.
Exactly. The only template he had to work off of was Frank Gorshin from the 66 Batman.
And I know this movie came out before the movie I'm about to mention, but have any of y'all seen The Cable Guy?
Oh, yeah.
Like, the entire movie, without, like, remembering that this came before that, I was just, like, waiting for him to go, "It's the Cable Guy!"
Batman, you say? That was kind of cool. You know what wasn't cool, though? What the hell, what purpose did Drew Barrymore serve in that movie?
I have no
Sugar and Spice, is that what they were called?
I think so.
Yeah. Like, they did that whole thing where Jim Carrey, at this point, they're at that thing there, and they're testing
the big
gala. And they basically did like a wife swap almost.
Yeah.
And again, here we go. Showing how much this is a non-Batman movie. That's what I just answered my own question. Here's what Drew Barrymore did to prove to me it's a non-Batman movie with Batman in it. He takes the thing out, right?
Mm-hmm.
It goes in there. Oh, guess what? I got another one. I just duped Batman. No, you don't. No. And then. What is it? So they put his thing there, and what do they say in his cortex? A bat. Okay, think about that. Then all of a sudden, oh my God, Bruce Wayne's Batman. Dude, it's Gotham City. How many people are going to have a bat on their mind considering they're obsessed with the Batman?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Batman in these movies is just the worst at secret identities. Let me direct your attention to the Nolan films for a moment. How many people knew that he was Batman in those?
Everybody but Gordon. Gordon always getting shit on him.
like it wasn't until like the second one like way in the end and in the second one that people really were like started finding out. Well, everyone that found out he was, Batman died.
He's pretty quick with the to reveal. Oh, that's the other thing I was gonna talk about when I had my break cramp earlier.
Yeah.
Schumacher did it first. Remember the flashback that Val Kilmer was having there?
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne falling down a well, big old bat flying in. Mm-hmm. Remember that?
Yeah.
Nolan, Schumacher did it first.
True.
And the bat pod, which it was pretty cool seeing the like the bat wing and the boat.
Yeah.
It's like, again, pushy Chris O'Donnell. What's this we stuff? You're not my partner.
While we're talking about the Batwing, let's talk about the bat neck.
Oh, when they're all, go get him. Yeah, I know.
He has to turn his shoulders to give him the thumbs up, which, to people that are like 80 miles away because he's flying through the frickin' sky.
Yeah.
And
like they're going to see that. It's like, I'm sure he's giving us a thumbs up, except for me. I'm Commissioner Gordon.
I think he's giving me the finger.
I'll tell you, it was a really badass scene for me, just a tiny little scene, when he's in the Batwing in Returns. Mm-hmm. And that look that Michael Keaton gives, when he, the kind of the turning of the neck made it better. When that penguin shoots a missile, and he's like, I really see what the fuck I just saw.
Yeah.
Is a penguin really just shoot a missile at me? But that look he gives, that was awesome.
No, that's when I expect Batman to be surprised.
Yeah, because he played it off, like he wasn't surprised, but he's just like,
that was weird.
Yeah, just all right.
This penguin guy's a freaking weirdo.
Yeah, it's. But yeah, the thumbs up and everything, and
holy rusted metal, Batman! What?
He said that. Huh?
This metal, it's all rusted and holy.
See, they're telling you, they're earmarking it. We're taking you back to 66, folks. Might as well just had Adam West in there.
Yeah, like that movie progressively got like it went from like serious, And then, like, at the very first scene, Batman gearing up, it's all serious and hardcore and gritty.
Headbutting the helicopter. You need help, Harvey. I thought that was awesome.
And then it just progressively gets campy.
It's come full circle. That's what I was saying, you know, from the 66 TV series all the way back to this one. And then, which will lead us to next week.
Yeah.
Which, if you didn't, don't take our word for it. Go watch these movies for yourselves if you haven't seen them, because we're saving the worst for last next week. It'll lead us to Batman and Robin.
Yeah. That movie's something special.
Oh, we're going to save that one.
Yeah. That's, yeah. I want to just, wrap up. Find these movies, watch them. Get along Halloween and Dark Victory. They're really good books. They're worth the buy.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just now realizing that we're picking up a little I'm picking up a little background noise. I'm really sorry. Thank you guys. Thank you guys again for tuning in. It's
yes.
The channel's going really strong, and we can't thank you enough.
Yes, thank you guys, and appreciate all your support. And I'll work on it, considering now Ryan is addressing me as background noise.
So, thank you again, and I guess we'll see you next week on Talking Comics.
Yes, peace.